Good morning, children. In the last lecture, we had discussed about the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, and we had tried to solve questions based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic, and I had asked you to do the exercise question number 1, 2 and 3 of exercise 1.2. Okay. We will continue with that exercise. The few of the questions I will be doing here. Then we can go to the next topic, that is revisiting irrational numbers. Okay. So, we will try to solve question number 4. This is also based on the result. We had got a result, isn't it? What was the result? That if a and b were positive integers, if a and b were two positive integers, then their product would be equal to what? HCF of those two numbers and LCM of the two numbers. This was the result you had seen. When a and b are two positive integers, then the product of those two integers will be equal to the product of the HCF of those two numbers and LCM of those two numbers. This was the result we had seen, and we had also observed that whenever there were three positive integers, then this rule was not applicable. These were the few things which we had done in our previous class. Now, here question number 4 is also based on this result only, that if two numbers 306 and 657, they are two integers, then the their product will be equal to the product of their HCF and LCM. Now, here it is given that the HCF, it is given HCF of 306. Which are the two numbers given here? 306 and 657. 657. That is equal to 9. Okay. So, we will say let A is equal to 306, B is equal to 657. Then applying the law, we have 306 into 657 will be equal to, HCF is given as 9. So, 9 into LCM of 306, 657. Okay. It is a simple calculation only. Everyone must have done it also, but those who are not able to do it, you can just observe here what is the procedure. So, LCM will be equal to 306 into 657, okay, upon 9. Is everyone getting this? Okay. Now, 9 will go with 306, isn't it? 9 3s are 27 होता है, 27, 30 minus 27 is 3, so 9 4s are 36, ठीक है. So, you get 34 into 657 upon 1, that is equal to, what is the value you are getting? See, I have calculated it as 22338. So, this is what your question is, ठीक है. ये वाला क्वेश्चन नोट डाउन कर लो, जिनका भी नहीं हुआ है वो कंप्लीट कर लो इसको. देन वील गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ओके. सो दिस वाज क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, ठीक है. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 सेज check whether 6 raised to n can end with the digit 0 for any natural number n. This was your question. Now, same kind of question we had done previously as an example. 4 raised to n का पूछा था यहाँ उस टाइम पे. We had solved that sum. I had asked you to do this sum for your homework also, but even then those who are not following it, please note it down. Okay. Now, they are asking whether there is any value for n where 6 raised to n gives a number with digit 0. It will give a number with digit 0 at units place. This is what your question is, ठीक है. तो ऐसा कोई नंबर है n का जिससे हमें 6 raised to n जो है वो मिलेगा with the units digit as 0. That was your question. So, how will you solve it? You will just write for any number to have units place as 0. It should be a multiple of 10. ये एग्री करते हैं सब लोग कि कोई भी नंबर को अगर यूनिट्स प्लेस में 0 होता है उसका मतलब वो नंबर जो है वो मल्टीपल होना चाहिए 10 का, isn't it? We had taken the example of say 420. I think we had discussed it. So 420 है मतलब it should be in the form of 42 into 10. मल्टीपल ऑफ 10 होना चाहिए ना, तो 10 होना चाहिए, into 10 आना चाहिए. So therefore it must have factor, or we write prime factor. Okay, it should have prime factor. It should have prime factor 2 and 5. ऐसा होना चाहिए, है ना. 10 है मतलब उसका प्राइम फैक्टर 2 और 5 होना चाहिए, isn't it? So when we write 6 raised to n and put it into its prime factor, मतलब कोई भी नंबर उसको हम प्राइम फैक्टर के टर्म्स में फैक्टराइज कर सकते हैं, एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं. सो इधर 6 को हम किस प्राइम फैक्टर्स में एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं? 2 into 3, यही दोनों है ना उसका प्राइम फैक्टर्स. तो 2 into 3 raised to n फॉर्म में आ जाएगा. वी कैन सी द फैक्टर 2, बट डू वी हैव द फैक्टर 5? नो. सो देयरफॉर इन दिस वी डू नॉट फाइंड, वी डू नॉट हैव prime factor, we do not have prime factor 5, so we cannot have a number 6 raised to n having units place 0 for any value of n. n का कोई भी वैल्यू ले लो, 1 ले लो, 2 ले लो, 3 ले लो, we will never get a number which ends with 0. या यूनिट्स प्लेस में डिजिट 0 होता है, ऐसा कभी हो ही नहीं सकता, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव द प्राइम फैक्टर 5. कोई भी नंबर 0 से एंड होना है तो it should be having prime factors 2 and 5. But we do not get here. So therefore this you will not be able to find any number for any value of n which ends with 0. Okay. So this is how we will solve the question. Please note down. Now the next question, that is question number 6. Explain why. Question 6. Explain why 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13. Okay, and 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 5 are composite numbers. This is your question. Okay, so now what is a composite number? You first understand that. What is a composite number? A composite number is that number which has other factors other than 1 and the number itself. Last time we had discussed that, isn't it? So what is composite number? You just see, carry out the operations, that is you first multiply and then add what is given to you, and you just show that it can be broken down into various prime factors. That shows that it is a composite number. Okay. Now we will do question number 7. What does question number 7 say? That there is a circular field. Okay, and two people, that is Sonia takes 18 minutes to drive around that circular field, around that round field, and Ravi takes 12 minutes for the same. Suppose they both start at the same point and at the same time and go in the same direction. After how many minutes will they meet again at the starting point? First understand the question. There is a circular field, and that circular field or round field, two people are moving. One is Sonia and other is Ravi. Now Sonia takes 18 minutes to drive around that circular path. ठीक है, और रवि जो है वो 12 मिनट्स में ही कंप्लीट कर लेता है 1 सर्कल. It is asked when will they both meet at the same time while they are moving in the same direction and they have started at the same time. Followed question का मतलब समझे क्या? So how will we solve it? So we'll just see there is a circular field. ये हमारा circular field हो गया. ठीक है, ये सपोज हमारा स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है. ठीक है, ये स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट में सोनिया भी है और रवि भी है. 2 people आर देयर. ठीक है, सोनिया ये पूरा सर्कल कवर करती है कितने मिनट्स में? 18 मिनट्स में. ठीक है, रवि कितने मिनट्स में कंप्लीट करता है? रवि कंप्लीट्स द होल सर्कल, मतलब यहाँ से यहाँ तक आने में उसको कितना मिनट लग रहा है? 12 minutes. He takes 12 minutes to complete. The question is, at what time will both of them meet at the same place? At what time will both of them meet at the same place while they are moving in same direction? मतलब यहीं से शुरू होकर यही डायरेक्शन में मूव हो रहा है. सोनिया भी इसी डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रही है और रवि भी इसी डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है. और दोनों ही when have they started? They have started at the same time. Are you understanding? So we have 2 values with us and they are asking us when will these 2 people meet? What time period? कितने मिनट्स के बाद ये दोनों एक जगह पे मिलेंगे at the same place. ठीक है, तो मतलब रवि ने तो 12 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट कर लिया एक सर्कल. S विच इज़ सोनिया ने तो 18 मिनट्स लगा दिए. तो जब 18 मिनट्स में ये सोनिया यहाँ पे कंप्लीट करती है तो रवि जो है वो नेचुरली 6 more मिनट्स वो मूव कर चुका होगा. तो यहाँ पे कहीं पे उसका प्लेस हो जाएगा. तो नेचुरली दे विल नॉट बी मीटिंग. ठीक है, जब रवि ने सेकेंड राउंड कंप्लीट करके यहाँ 24 मिनट्स में पहुँचेगा ना, एक राउंड उसने 12 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट किया तो सेकेंड राउंड उसने 24 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट किया. तब सोनिया किधर होगी? सोनिया 6 more मिनट्स, उसका 18 प्लस सम more time she will take, but she won't be reaching at that initial place. So they are not both meeting. अब इधर हमें HCF फाइंड करना है, LCM फाइंड करना है. कैसे हमें पता चलता है? तो नेचुरली बोथ ऑफ देम विल नॉट मीट at a time period less than 12 और less than 18. दोनों ही ज़्यादा ही टाइम लेंगे to meet at the same place. So जब इस तरह का क्वेश्चन है, देखना दोनों वैल्यूज़ देखने का, 18 भी देखना 12 भी देखना, और वो उनका जो मीटिंग टाइम है वो 18 से कम कभी भी नहीं हो सकता या 12 से कम कभी नहीं हो सकता. It will be always more than 18 and 12. Whenever that value which we are expecting is more, then you should always take LCM. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन में अभी तो हम लोग आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि हाँ इसमें LCM फाइंड करना है, लेकिन इन द एग्जाम इफ इट इज़ गिवन, हाउ विल यू आइडेंटिफाई वेदर द वैल्यू विच दे आर आस्किंग अस इज HCF और LCM? तो दोनों वैल्यूज़ को देखने का, और जो उन लोग हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन है उसका वैल्यू अगर ये दोनों वैल्यू से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए then it will be, then you have to calculate LCM. पिछले बार एक क्वेश्चन हमने किया था जिसमें HCF हमने ढूंढा था. 616 members are there in a band and 32 members are there in the army band. तो उसमें हमने HCF फाइंड किया था. तो वो हमने कैसे डिसाइड, उस टाइम तो हमने ऐसे ही कर दिया था क्योंकि वो टॉपिक चल रहा था. बट इफ़ द क्वेश्चन इज़ गिवन देन हाउ विल यू फाइंड आउट वेदर यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट HCF और LCM? तो वो हमें किस तरह पता चलेगा कि वो दोनों वैल्यूज़ को देखो और जो हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन है उसका वैल्यू अगर वो दोनों वैल्यू से कम आता है, कम होना चाहिए, देन इट विल बी HCF. देन यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट द HCF. आर यू फॉलोइंग और नॉट? उसमें हमने 616 मेंबर्स और 32 मेंबर्स टुगेदर को हमें उन्होंने पूछा था कि कितने कॉलम्स में अरेंज होना चाहिए था. अब कॉलम्स 616 से तो ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता ना, उससे हमेशा कम ही रहेगा ना. 80 हमको आंसर मिला था 8 कॉलम्स. तो तो 8 कॉलम्स में इतने सारे मेंबर्स अरेंज हो जाना चाहिए था. सो अगर हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू या रिजल्ट जो हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं वो दोनों नंबर से, जो दिए गए नंबर से कम है, देन इट विल बी HCF. और अगर दिए गए वैल्यू से ज़्यादा होगा हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू, देन इट विल बी what you have to find there, LCM. So this is the situation. Now we have to find LCM of 18 and 12. That will give you the exact time at which these two people will meet at the same place. Okay. So you can write the LCM of 18 and 12 will give the exact time at which both Sonia and Ravi will meet. Okay, so find out the LCM. So LCM you will find out 18, break it into the prime factor. What will it be? 2 into 3 into 3, that is 2 into 3 square. ठीक है. और दूसरा नंबर है हमारे पास 12, that is 2 into 2 into 3, 4 3s are 12, that is 2 square into 3. और LCM क्या बोला था हमने? It is the product of the prime factors which are present involved with the two numbers. So LCM, which are the prime factors? 2 and 3. So first write down that. और उनका पावर कैसा होना चाहिए? इट इज़ द ग्रेटेस्ट पावर, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट पावर ऑफ ऑल द प्राइम फैक्टर्स विच आर प्रेजेंट इन द नंबर्स. सो दीज आर द टू प्राइम फैक्टर्स वी आर हैविंग. उसका ग्रेटेस्ट पावर क्या है? इधर 3 और 1 है इधर, तो फिर 2 होगा, so we will write 2, and here also we will write 2. So that is 2 square 4, 4 into 9, that is equal to 36. So we can say, so at 36 minutes, both Sonia and Ravi will meet as they move. मतलब दोनों कब मिलेंगे एक जगह पे? जब 36 मिनट्स होगा. I hope you understand this. Please copy down. Now we will come to the topic revisiting irrational numbers. What do you understand by revisiting irrational numbers? Revisiting मतलब वापस we are coming to irrational number. So what idea do you have about an irrational number? In your 9th standard you have already learnt, so you might be knowing what is an irrational number. So what is an irrational number? You know that real numbers, isn't it? Real numbers, it includes two things. What are they? Two kind of numbers. One is rational number and irrational number. Everyone is aware of this, isn't it? That real numbers includes rational number and irrational numbers. So then what idea do you have about the irrational numbers? So irrational numbers, rational numbers कौन सा था? जो हम P by Q के फॉर्म में एक्सप्रेस कर सकते थे. Similarly irrational numbers क्या होगा तब? It will be irrational numbers cannot be expressed as, irrational numbers cannot be expressed as P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Okay, in the first class we had seen what was irrational number. We had just taken we had tried to understand what is irrational number. So irrational numbers, it cannot be expressed as P by Q, where Q should not be equal to 0. ठीक है. दूसरी चीज़ हमें क्या पता है कि irrational numbers are decimal expansion which are non terminating and non repeating. ठीक है. तो irrational numbers जो है वो non terminating है and it will keep on going, more and more numbers you will get, and also it is non repeating, then nothing is being repeated here. sometimes we carry out the division and we will get it as 6.33333. It is repeating. Okay, but here this is not repeating. After 1 0, then 1, then 0 0. So there is no repetition of any number. So irrational numbers are decimal expansion which are non-terminating and non-repeating. This is what you know about irrational numbers. Okay, what other thing you know? That irrational numbers could be expressed in the number line. Had you done it or not? Did you express any irrational number on the number line? You must have done it for root 2, root 3, isn't it? So how had we done? This was your number line. Okay, okay. So suppose this is 1, this is 0, this is 1. Okay, and this length also you had taken 1 unit. Then by Pythagoras theorem you had found out that this was equal to root 2. Taking this as the radius, you had cut it, isn't it? You had cut it somewhere here, and that indicated root 2 on the number line. Do you remember it or not? Okay, next time you could also indicate root 3. So this is how you had even seen that irrational number can be expressed on the number line. This is also you know about irrational numbers, isn't it? Now, what's the next thing you know? Many irrational numbers you come across in your calculations, okay, or in future also you will be coming across many irrational numbers. So various irrational numbers which you come across are the common ones, that is root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5, root 6. So all these you can see these are numbers which are under the square root. So under square root में कोई भी number है तो वो irrational होता है क्या? It is not necessary. See, you can see here a number like under root 64. It is not irrational because what is it? It will give you an integer 8, है ना? Square root के बाहर निकलते हुए root 64 it will become 8. So any positive integer का square root does not mean that it will be an irrational number. It can give an integer also. So you can express the under root of any positive integer as an integer or as an irrational number. Suppose you take root 8. Root 8 means it is 2 root 2. 4 into 2 है. 4 तो square root के बाहर निकलेगा तो 2 हो जाएगा. And then root 2. But this, you can see this is irrational number. But here under root of 64 you get 8 which is an integer. I hope this is clear with you. Okay. The next thing which you will find in many books is that under root of a prime number is irrational. What is a prime number? Prime number is that number which has only two factors, the number 1 and the number itself. 3 is a prime factor. Why do we call it as prime factor? Because it will have only two factors, 1 and 3. So under root of prime will always be a irrational number. Agreed, no? All these are prime factors. 2, 3, 5. 4 hai? No. 4 it is having factors 2 and 1 and 4. So therefore it is not a prime factor. So prime numbers जो है वो उसका square root will always be irrational. Root 2, root 5, root 3, root 7 they are all irrational numbers. ठीक है? तो ये जो है this is 100% true. Okay, very true. But can we say that root 15 is irrational? Irrational है कि नहीं वो? Why? Because 15 अगर तुम split out करोगे तो root 3 into root 5 both are irrational only. So it will be irrational. So but here 15 is not a prime number. It is a composite number. So under root of composite number may give you an integer or may give you an irrational number. ठीक है? तो दोनों तरह से possible है. Prime number का square root है तो it is totally irrational. लेकिन composite number का square root अगर देखोगे तो वो तो या तो integer दे देगा या फिर irrational number देगा. ठीक है? So this is what another observation which we can see. The next is pi. Everyone is aware of pi. We are using pi every time. Pi जिसका value हम क्या लेते हैं 22/7 और sometimes we also take it as 3.14. तो अगर इस तरह से हम एक्सप्रेस करते हैं तो उसका मीनिंग क्या है कि वो रैशनल होना चाहिए. बट एक्चुअल में पाई इज़ नॉट रैशनल, इट इज़ इर्रैशनल नंबर. ठीक है? बिकॉज एक्चुअल वैल्यू ऑफ पाई इज़ नॉट दिस. it will come out as a number which is non terminating and non repeating, है ना. इसको तुम divide करोगे तो you will get a non terminating non repeating value you will get. So therefore actual value of pi is non repeating and non terminating. ये जो value हम लेते हैं, this is an approximate value of pi. So for our calculation purpose. Have you followed this? So these are the various things which we can observe for a irrational number. I hope you follow it. So these ideas you should have in your mind about an irrational number. Okay. So please note down so that I can go to the next part of this irrational numbers. Now you might think, why we know such a lot of information about irrationality, irrational numbers, then what are we going to study in this class about irrational numbers? So here we will be trying to prove irrationality of the numbers. Okay. For proving any number to be irrational, before doing that we should be knowing or we should be understanding a theorem. So we will take theorem 1.3 of your textbook. Okay. And what does it say? That let p be a prime number. What are they saying? Let there be a number p which is prime. Okay. If p divides a square, then p divides a where a is a positive integer. Okay, where a is a positive integer. I hope you understand the statement. What does the statement? That let there be a number prime number which is p, and if this p divides the square of an integer, then it will also divide the integer itself. That is the meaning. If p divides a square, a we have supposed it is an integer. Okay. If p divides a square, then p also divides a. That is our statement. Okay. So how will we prove it? Again here we will be using what? We will be using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. We are going to prove this. Okay. We are going to prove fundamental theorem of arithmetic use करके we are going to prove this theorem. So first what will we do? Let a is a positive integer. Everyone agrees this? We can suppose it. Let a be any positive integer. ठीक है. So according to fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we can write a in terms of its prime factor. Let it be equal to p1 into p2 into p3. Okay, in your book it is given in terms of dash dot dot n, but we will take these three numbers and try to solve it. Okay, so we will get 3 prime factors मिलता है. Suppose हम बोल रहे हैं कि a एक ऐसा positive integer है. So if it is a positive integer, then according to fundamental theorem we can divide that integer into its prime factor. We can express it in terms of their prime factor. So let the prime factors be p1, p2 and p3. So I can write a is equal to p1 into p2 into p3. What are p1, p2 and p3? p1, p2 and p3 are the prime factors. Remember, prime factors of a. ये इतना समझ में आया? सो a जो है उसको हम p1, p2 और p3 में एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं जो कि प्राइम फैक्टर्स है. ठीक है. तो अगर हम स्क्वायर कर लेते हैं, स्क्वायरिंग, व्हाट विल वी गेट? a स्क्वायर, स्क्वायरिंग ऑन बोथ साइड्स, what will we get? A square is equal to p1 square, p2 square, p3 square. मिलेगा ना? I hope you understand this. We are squared on both the sides. So we will get it in this manner. ठीक है. Now it is given that p divides a square. If p is a number which divides a square, so I will write that. If p divides a square. ठीक है. तो कैसा आ जाएगा हमारा situation? It will be a square divided by p. Clear? तो what can we say? That P can also divide P is dividing A square. So if P is dividing A square, that means ये जो P है वो P या तो P1 होगा या फिर P2 होगा या फिर P3 होगा, isn't it? So if P divides A square, then we can have, or then we can say, then P is one of P1 or P2 or P3. समझ में आया? ओके, एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं, एक सिंपल एग्जाम्पल. सपोज हमने इंटीजर जो है उसको 6 कंसिडर कर लिया है. आवर A इज 6. तो 6 को हम कैसे प्राइम फैक्टर्स में लिख सकते हैं? 2 into 3 लिख सकते हैं, लिख सकते हैं ना. स्क्वायर कर दो तो क्या मिलेगा? 6 स्क्वायर इक्वल टू 2 स्क्वायर इंटू 3 स्क्वायर, दैट इज 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. लिख सकते हैं इसे. नाउ P ऐसा एक नंबर है, ऐसा एक प्राइम नंबर है जो A को डिवाइड करता है. सो 6 को डिवाइड करने के लिए लेट मी टेक 2, बिकॉज 6 कैन बी डिवाइडेड आइदर बाई 2 और बाई 3. सो 2 ले सकते हैं ना हम. तो अगर 6 स्क्वायर को 2 डिवाइड कर सकता है तो 2 इज वन ऑफ द फैक्टर ओनली, isn't it? 2 is one of the factor. You can see 2 is one of the factor only. So if 6 square is getting divided by 2, then 6 will also be divided by 2, no? That is what our statement says, isn't it? So if P is dividing A square, then P is only one of the factor, that is P is only P1 or P2 or P3. So this implies what? This implies that P also divides A. I hope you understand. This is a very simple example just to make you understand. Okay, if 2 is dividing 6 square 36, 2 divides 6 square, then 2 will also divide 6, which is our integer. So that is what it means. I hope you followed this. So you can note down. This was just an example, no need to write this. I hope you understood it. So you can copy it down so that I can go to the next part. So now we will prove irrationality of numbers. First one we will take, that is prove that root 2 is irrational. Very important question, everyone should understand it properly so that you can prove the irrationality for any other number, any other prime number. Okay, so prove that root 2 is irrational. We will use the method of contradiction. Okay, what does this mean by contradiction? मतलब इधर हम है ना पहले सपोज करते हैं कि ये जो नंबर है वो रैशनल है, रूट 2 रैशनल पहले हम लोग एज्यूम कर लेते हैं. फिर हम जब सॉल्व करते जाएंगे, सो वी कम टू अ स्टेटमेंट विच सेज दैट व्हाट वी हैव अज्यूम्ड इज रॉन्ग. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मेथड ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. जो हमने एज्यूम किया था वो रॉन्ग है. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज द मेथड ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. ओके, सो व्हाट विल वी डू? वी विल फर्स्ट से लेट रूट 2 इज रैशनल. एक्चुअल में वो इरेशनल है तो हमें प्रूव करना है कि वो इरेशनल है. तो उसके लिए हम पहले क्या सपोज करते हैं कि लेट रूट 2 इज रैशनल. ऐसे सपोज कर लेते हैं. वी अज्यूम लेट रूट 2 इज रैशनल. तो उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि रूट 2 कैन बी एक्सप्रेस्ड एज p by q where q is not equal to 0. ठीक है. नाउ रूट 2 is expressed as p by q. Let us assume that p and q have some common factors, and by cancelling those common factors we get a number a by b such that b is not equal to 0. a and b both are integers and also they are co-primes. क्या बोला मैंने? We say let p and q have some common factor. ओके, हमने अज्यूम किया P by Q में एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं, बट ऐसा पॉसिबल हो सकता है ना कि P and Q might have some common factor which on cancelling we get A upon B such that A and B are co-primes. What do you mean by co-primes? Co-primes मतलब उनके पास और कोई फैक्टर कॉमन नहीं है 1 के अलावा. That is called as co-primes. So what have we said? Let P and Q have some common factor which on cancelling will give you a number A by B such that A and B are co-primes. Also B should not be equal to 0. Okay? Need not write this, it's not necessary. You just write, we know it that we get, since it is P by Q, here we have said Q is not equal to 0. So it will indicate that only. So A by B हमें मिलता है such that A and B are co-primes. I hope you understand that. Co-primes मतलब वो numbers जो जिनके पास as a prime fact, as a common factor, it is only having 1 as the common factor. I hope you understand that. So how can I express now root 2 as? I can express root 2 is equal to A by B. Okay, जहाँ पे A क्या है? A and B are co-primes and they are integers also. Okay, integers भी है. So you can write it this way. ठीक है, तो अभी हम इसको कैसे एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं? Just to see how can we express that. We can write it as root 2b is equal to a. ऐसा लिख सकते हैं ना, है ना? Squaring on both the sides. Square on both sides. We are squaring on both the sides. So therefore I get root 2b square is equal to a square. That is 2b square is equal to a square. ठीक है? Now here what does it mean? B square is equal to a square by 2. So what do we see here? We see 2 divides a square, है ना? 2 a square को divide कर रहा है. Then according to the theorem we learned, we can say therefore 2 divides a. We can have this according to the theorem what we have just learned. So we find that 2 divides a. Now if 2 divides a is divided by 2, then naturally it will give some number. Let it be c. Okay, so I have a divided by 2 is equals to c. Therefore I can write what? A is equal to 2c. Can I write it this way? ठीक है? So now what do I have? A is equals to 2c. Squaring on both the sides, we take square. Okay, squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides, I have a square is equal to 4c square. Yes or no? Yes or no? You will get it that. So if I put this value of a square here, what do I get? Let me take this equation as, I will take this equation as 1. Let me take that equation as 1. So substituting, what will I write? Substituting value of a square in equation 1. ये ना हमारा equation 1, वहाँ पे हम a square का वैल्यू डालेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? 2b square is equal to 4c square. So I have what? B square is equal to 2c square. That is सी स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू बी स्क्वायर बाई 2 मिलेगा ना हमको ऐसे. C square, I will take the 2 below B square. So, I have C square is equals to B square by 2. Yes. So, this implies what? 2 divides B square, and that will imply 2 divides B according to the theorem what we just learned, isn't it? So, here we have 2 dividing B and 2 is dividing A also. Both you can see 2 divides A and 2 divides B. So, therefore, what can we say? Therefore, we can say 2 is a common factor of A and B. हम बोल सकते हैं ना 2A को भी डिवाइड कर रहा है और 2B को भी डिवाइड कर रहा है, मतलब 2 एक कॉमन फैक्टर हुआ ना A और B का. लेकिन हमने यहाँ पे क्या सपोज किया था कि A एंड B आर को प्राइम्स, मतलब उनके पास और कोई फैक्टर नहीं है 1 के अलावा. बट हमने अराइव किया कि A एंड B आर हैविंग अ कॉमन फैक्टर 2. सो देन what we had assumed that was wrong, isn't it? We get a contradiction here. A and B are having a common factor, but we said A and B are co-primes. So, what we had assumed, this contradiction has come because what we had assumed as root 2 irrational is a wrong assumption. That is what we call as method of contradiction. ठीक है, हमने assume किया कि root 2 rational है और end में हमें ऐसा एक statement मिल रहा है जो हमने जो assume किया था वो contradict कर रहा है. A और B को हमने co-prime कहा था, लेकिन हम देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि A and B is having a common factor 2 other than 1. So, that is not correct. So, there is a contradiction. So, that contradiction is arised because we have supposed a wrong thing. We have assumed a wrong thing, that root 2 is rational. So, there are few more lines to be written. Please note this down so that I can complete it. So, we can say that 2 is a common factor of A and B. Okay. So, I will write it here. This contradicts the statement that A and B are co-primes. This contradicts the statement that A and B are co-primes. Okay. And why this contradiction has occurred? This contradiction has occurred because we have supposed a wrong thing, that root 2 is irrational. Okay. So, I can write at the end, therefore, no, this contradiction, it's there in your textbook also, this contradiction occurs because of wrong assumption, that root 2 is rational, and what should we have? Therefore, we conclude that root 2 is irrational. Therefore, we conclude that root 2 is irrational. I hope this is clear with you. So, what had we started with? We had started with root 2 is rational और फिर हमने assume किया था then it can be shown as P by Q. Q is not equal to 0. Let P and Q have some common factor. हमने बोला P और Q में कुछ तो common factor हो सकता है या नहीं भी हो सकता है, तो हमने उसको cancel कर दिया. तो क्या मिलेगा हमें? A by B फॉर्म में मिलेगा. ये पार्ट समझ रहे हो कि नहीं? हाँ, सपोज देयर नंबर इज हमारा P है 15 और Q है 25, तो इसमें कॉमन फैक्टर है ना, तो उसको हमने कैंसिल कर देना है 5 इंटू 3 अपॉन 5 इंटू 5. तो ये कैंसिल होने पे हमें ऐसा एक नंबर मिलता है जो कि को प्राइम्स है. सी, ऐसा एक नंबर मिला जो कि को प्राइम्स है A एंड B, दैट मीन्स दे आर हैविंग ओनली कॉमन फैक्टर 1. सो ए और बी, सो हमने √2 इज इक्वल्स टू ए बाई बी में लिख सकते थे, एंड दिस √2 is equal to a by b, we can write it as √2b into is equal to a. Now when we square on both sides, we will get 2b square is equal to a square, and we can find b square is equal to a square by 2. Means here we are saying that 2 is dividing a square. So we see 2 divides a square. So according to the theorem, we can say that 2 divides a also. According to the theorem just we discussed, okay. So if 2 is dividing a, then it can give you some number c. We can write it this way. So a is equal to 2c हो सकता है. Squaring on both sides we get what? A square is equal to 4c square. ये a square का वैल्यू हमें किधर सब्सटीट्यूट करना है? इस वाले इक्वेशन में. तो हमें मिल जाएगा 2b square is equal to 4c square. ठीक है. So b square is equal to 2c square. That is c square is equal to b square by 2. And 2 divides b square implies that 2 also divides b. तो अभी 2 a को भी डिवाइड करता है, 2 b को भी डिवाइड करता है. उसका मतलब क्या है कि 2 a और b का कॉमन फैक्टर है. बट दिस कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट्स द स्टेटमेंट दैट a and b आर को-प्राइम्स. ओके, सो दिस कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट्स द स्टेटमेंट दैट a and b आर को-प्राइम्स. Thus this contradiction is occurring because of our wrong assumption that √2 is rational. So we conclude that √2 is irrational. तो हमने प्रूव कर दिया कि √2 irrational है. I hope this is clear. Okay, so note it down properly. Now one more we can see, √3 is irrational. उसके बाद तुम √5 के लिए फाइंड कर सकते हो, √7 के लिए फाइंड कर सकते हो, √11 के लिए फाइंड कर सकते हो. That you can do for your practice. Now let us see √3 is irrational. So हमें पहले क्या करना है? Let √3 is a rational number. ठीक है. What will we write? Let √3 is a rational number. ठीक है. So therefore how can we express √3 as? √3 we can express as p by q, where q is not equal to 0. Okay. One more thing you can write. Let p and q have some common factor. P and q have some common factor, and after cancelling we get a by b. We get a by b such that a and b are को-प्राइम्स. ठीक है. इधर हमने सपोज कर लिया कि a and b को-प्राइम्स है. सो हाउ कैन आई राइट? देयरफॉर आई कैन राइट √3 इज इक्वल टू a by b. ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. सो दैट इम्प्लाइज कि √3b इज इक्वल टू a. सो स्क्वायरिंग, व्हाट डू वी गेट? स्क्वायरिंग वी गेट √3b the whole square is equal to a square. It implies कि 3b square is equal to a square. That means what? That means what? We have b square is equal to a square by 3. Again 3 is a prime number. Okay. So this implies what? 3 divides, what does it imply? It divides a square. So it will imply that therefore 3 divides a. ये हम बता सकते हैं ना. So it implies what? 3 divides a. Yes. So if 3 divides a, then we can have it in this manner. A by 3 is equal to c. That is a is equal to 3c. So squaring, what will we get? Squaring, we will get a square is equal to 9c square. Okay. Put the value of a square in which equation you can put? You can put in this equation. Okay. This is our equation number 1. Okay. So what do we get? We get 3b square, or I will write it, put a square is equal to 9c square in equation 1. So what do we have? We have 3b square is equal to 9c square, that is b square is equal to 3c square. So what does this indicate? कि c square is equal to b square by 3, ऐसा आ जाएगा ना. So this implies what? 3 divides b square, 3 divides b square. So it will indicate what? B divides, 3 divides, it will indicate 3 divides b also. We can have this. So what do we have now? Ki b divides, 3 is dividing b and 3 is also dividing a. So therefore 3 divides a and b. So 3 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor of a and b, and this contradicts our statement that a and b are co-primes. So what we have assumed, and why this contradiction has occurred? This contradiction has occurred because of our wrong assumption that root 3 is rational. So we conclude that root 3 is an irrational number. So I am not writing those statements, you can write it on your own. So have you understood this, how to obtain it? You can try it for root 5, root 11, okay, root 7, you can do it on your own. I hope this is clear with you. Now few more exercise questions are there that we will solve in the next lecture, okay.